What is going on, you guys? So today's video is gonna be about stick insects. Now before we get into this video, you guys, I want to make a quick mention that if you are interested in snake, reptiles, insects, and vertebrate type of videos, please subscribe, because that's what this channel is all about. And you guys will definitely see a lot of stuff that you might not regularly see on other channels or in person. So today we've got what's in here. These are stick insect eggs. Alright, so if you guys can see that, it looks like, it doesn't look like much. It looks like either seeds or poop, insect poop of some kind, but these are stick insect eggs. Now what species are these? I am not sure. I found these native over here in Sichuan. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hatch a couple of these, and I will show you guys what these guys look like. And we're also gonna set them up. We're gonna set up some new babies that we have into a new enclosure. So stay tuned, guys. All right. So first we're gonna get started with this. Now this is these are eggs that I've hatched about 20 days ago, and I just want to show you guys something really cool. Oh, before we get started, yes, you can keep them in here. You can keep them in mesh type enclosures. But honestly, like, I found that this works better for me. You guys can see there's no ventilation holes, but the lid is not screwed on tight. The reason for this is because when they're young, when they first hatch, they require a lot of humidity, and I found that this works really well. But I mean, everyone has their own style that works for them, but this is what works for me. So let me open this up. Alright, guys. So in here we have some of these stick insects, and they are due for an upgrade and a change in the bedding as well. As you guys can see, this is like the bottom. I just use a moist paper towel, or just paper towel, which I sprayed down a little bit, and you guys can see it's really dirty. I actually just cleaned this out yesterday. So these guys, they poop a lot, and you guys can see there's one right here on the top left hand side of the screen. One thing that's really interesting to me, you guys, is just how much these things grow in each shed. As you guys can see right here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this little guy right here, he hasn't even shed yet. Actually, you guys can see just how small he is. And then this guy just shed out today, or yesterday actually, and you guys can see, like, they literally double in size with each shed. And hold on, let me just put them side by side. I don't know how well this is showing up on the GoPro. My other camera, I lost a charger too, so I haven't been really making too much videos because I don't really like filming with the GoPro. But here's a good comparison. This guy hasn't shed yet. This guy's shed once. You guys can see how much they grow with each shed. And these guys, I believe they shed 7 to 8 times within their lifetime. Alright, so this is the new enclosure that they will be going into. It's an acrylic type enclosure with the front hinge door. As you guys can see, it's opaque because I didn't remove the plastic cover on the acrylic, just because I'm going to be traveling soon and I'm going to be bringing this with me, and I don't want to scratch the acrylic, so I'm leaving the protective cover on. But here is the door, and as you guys can see, this is the locking mechanism on this thing is just really funky. So how this works is, if I can just get this is the frame. I don't know how you guys can see this, but this is the frame to the front, and then this is the door. And if you guys can see this, there are these little grooves right here like that, and this is the locking mechanism. This thing just slides right in and holds the two doors together. Now this looks, I had to change this up a little bit because this looks kind of not very nice. It's not very aesthetic if I do say so myself. And not only that, but when it goes in, like, it leaves a giant, like, a half-inch gap for the bugs to escape, for anything to escape actually, because it sits in like that. So what I did was I bought some little round magnets online, as you guys can see, and I super glued it halfway in between, so it only leaves like a fraction, a little small gap. This way it can also allow for some ventilation, or I can put a little piece of tape here and it'll block this little gap. Whereas with the original locking mechanism, this would sit right here and you would have to slide this out every time, and there's no way you can cover this gap, because if you covered the gap, this would not be able to go in. So that I'm still working on. I still have to apply 2 more magnets, like one right here and one right here, so that these would lock together, and I'll show you guys just how that looks in a minute. Alright you guys, so now that the glue has dried on, this is what the enclosure looks like. And then if we close this, you can see it sticks together, and that way it works as like a little lock. Of course, you can't keep snakes or anything that's tough in here, because otherwise you can just push it out. But stick bugs, this is perfectly fine. Alright, so next thing we need is a little water dish. This is not for the stick insects to drink from. This is actually to keep their host plant alive for a few days. And what we're going to do is, we have this is a plastic bottle that I cut the top off of, and what this is going to do is just going to go on top of the water reservoir. And what this does is it prevents the water from the dish from evaporating at a fast speed, and it also serves to help hold the host plants upright, this way they don't topple all over the place. Now we're going to put this water dish inside. I think I'm just going to leave it in the middle like that. It looks like the dish is a little bit dirty. That's just coconut husk. Alright, next we have the host plant. This is, I mean, it's weird because stick insects, they really like the plants that have a lot of thorns. Now, the stick insects, they'll eat a variety of plants, but as a general guideline, most stick insects, they will eat raspberry and bramble, as well as rose leaves, and this is what I have. That's what I have here. This is what is available to me, and this is what I recognize outside. Alright, so we took a clipping from the bottom, and what you want to do is you want to remove, well, this was attached to this. What you want to do is remove any bits of branches on the bottom and make it like, give it a good inch or 2 of just stem space. This is going to allow you to stick it in. It's going to allow you to plant it much easier inside the pot. And it goes in like that. Okay guys, so this is the end product, and obviously you don't want to take more than what you need. This doesn't seem like much, but this is going to last the stick insects quite a while. With this kind of setup, I have noticed that the plants, the host plants, they last for up to 2 weeks before the leaves start drying up and falling off. But by then, the stick insects would have pretty much devoured this, and this is actually good enough for up to 10 insects. For nymphs, obviously, depending on the species, you have to kind of play with it a little and see what works for you, and this is what's going to work for me. Alright you guys, check it out. Can you see them? There's 8 of them in here, and as you can see, they're about ready for an upgrade. If you guys can see, there's 3 of them right here, and they're pretty much outgrown this container, and their host plant needs to be changed, and so does their bedding. Now this has been, they've had this host plant for about a week and a half now. As you can see, it's still alive and they're still eating it, so it's time to give them their new mansion. Check it out. Stick insect mansion, guys. Alright, so